The return of Tiamat. Those who can breathe the air of my writings know that it is an air of the heights, a strong air. One must be made for it, otherwise there is no small danger that one may catch cold in it. The ice is near, the solitude tremendous, but how calmly all things lie in the light. How freely one breathes. How much one feels beneath oneself. Philosophy, as I have so far understood and lived it, means living voluntarily among ice and high mountains, seeking out everything strange and questionable in existence, everything so far placed under ban by morality. Nietzsche, God cannot impart secret knowledge to man. The Babylonian esoteric treatise said Kal is a secret. The one who knows the secret of the great gods will show it to the one who knows, but the one who does not know will not see it. The prohibition of the great gods. The Book of Sia was not written by men or for men. Not everyone can accept the truth, but only those who have come to this world from the other side. I will show you the way to remember who you really are. Nothing is impossible for such beings, so it is important to remember your main goal to become God. This knowledge is secret, and in ancient times the gods imposed a ban on its dissemination among ordinary people. The divine consciousness had no right to share this knowledge among people, and especially to initiate slaves into it. This truth was written on Assyrian clay tablets. It could only be passed on to awaken one of those who had forgotten their essence. The sacred truths that I recorded earlier while creating this work have mysteriously disappeared, pointing to the fact that not everyone should see and learn it. However, I am taking up this work again in order to take the risk of bringing this knowledge to those who can understand and put it into practice. In the old days, Abdul al-Khazraj also dared to write down such secrets in order to teach those who are able to know. But unknown beings punished him by carrying him into the sky in broad daylight and tearing him into small pieces. For his book subsequently fell not only to those who understood, but also to others, to those who have fear and thus seek to destroy knowledge. But such as you do not know fear, for terror is everywhere, and you, instead of fearing it, learn to channel it. They are different and hunt you relentlessly to wipe out the last of you. But who can destroy those who have no beginning and therefore no end? For all is one, past, present and future. Time, like death, is an illusion created for people to deprive them of immortality. They are simply made to believe that they are mortal. But we know that earthly laws are illusory, so we despise them. The only law is freedom. Only what you believe in has power over you. So believe that you are God's. Only by knowing the past can you see the future. If you want to know what is coming, look at what has been, for everything is one, and it may be the same event that is happening right now. And if it hasn't happened yet, then it can be fixed. But in changing the future, you change the past. That's how change happens in this matrix system, where the past is constantly changing, giving rise to many alternative theories. The only question is who changes the matrix. Whoever rules this world, by learning to weave fates and lines of probability, you can create people, events and entire worlds and erase them as if they never existed. However, what we are talking about can only be understood by the divine consciousness. I firmly believe that everything in this world is interconnected, and in every culture we find traces of the same divine personalities and their reincarnations. I will compare several myths and you will see the unity of the world mythology. I could label this book as a large compilation of world myths with my commentaries that contribute to the correct understanding and interpretation of the secret knowledge. However, those who see the essence will realize that it is more than that. For he who seeks will find the key to eternal life and the world of the gods. We all know the legends of who the Bodhisattva is. It is a being who gave up nirvana in order to save others and to show the way to enlightenment and exit from the matrix, that is to liberation. Can I call myself a bodhisattva? Perhaps, but are complicated definitions and titles so important? Much more important is how we feel. So feel the path I am going to take you on through this book. Of all the schools, I respect Plato's school most of all, because of the fact that it most accurately describes the real state of affairs on earth. Just think of his myth of the cave, in which he describes a humanity that lives in illusions and does not believe those who tell the truth. The cave is inhabited by prisoners. They are chained in such a way that they cannot even turn their heads. They cannot see the way out of the cave, for it is blocked by a large stone. Outside, the sun is shining and a fire is burning somewhere in the distance. Thanks to it, the prisoners can see what's outside the cave. Or rather, they can see the shadows of what's going on out there. Observing the shadows is the prisoner's only way of knowing the world. That the shadows are just a reflection of what is happening outside is something the prisoners don't know. So they spend their days discussing what they see and have no idea how far their speculations are from reality. If one of the prisoners had the opportunity to leave the cave, he would see that there are people and things there, not shadows. And if the former prisoner told what he had seen to the others in the cave, they would not believe him, would ridicule him, and even kill him. Mankind doesn't want to know the truth, as it takes society out of their comfort zone, disrupting the usual quagmire of their daily lives, and anyone who tries to reveal the truth to them automatically becomes a dangerous element that they seek to destroy. But when have such circumstances ever stopped me? I will risk finding diamonds in the mud with the light of truth. When a philosopher has truly seen and recognized the truth, it is his duty to return to the cave and tell the chained men. Can I call myself that philosopher? Perhaps. This book seeks to remove the opposition between science and magic, for there is no contradiction. Magic is science, but only for those who have understood its laws. For the rest of us, of course, it's just mysticism. And I want to open you the veil of a great mystery and teach you how to weave destinies, because in ancient Greek mythology the Muses were considered superior even to the gods and controlled their destinies. The role of the Mura was to ensure that every being, mortal and divine, would fulfill their destiny as it was assigned to them by the laws of the universe. And you can become great weavers of destiny. The secret of individuality. I may have lost a battle, but not the war. Napoleon Bonaparte. 7 tables with the Babylonian poem Enuma Elish Wena Bafoto, Lao King. The Enuma Elish, the 7 tablets of creation. Vol. 1 to 1902 British Museum. As Enuma Elish narrates, in the beginning there was nothing, only the salty waters of Tiamat, who created Apsu, her husband, and life was born in the waters of the great Prometarium. That's how the first gods appeared. Genealogical tree of the Sumero-Akkadian pantheon of gods. Initially came Menshar and Keshar, from their union Anu, who became the father of Enki and Enlil. Enki later gave birth to Marduk. Thus the main triad of ruling gods was born, Anu, Enki, Enlil. God of the sky, wisdom and storms. In the beginning there were several virgins of the universe and only on the 4th time Tiamat created ours from dark matter, that is, from chaos, from the energy of life. However, it is important to make one digression. In Mesopotamia there was no such concept as chaos or entropy, and Tiamat herself was associated with life, not death. In each of the universes there was some imperfection, because of which it was necessary to disembody what had already been created and remake, and this virgin was no exception. The gods began to do iniquities, making noise, which extremely disturbed the original gods. They were not perfect gods and did a lot of nasty things. And they decided to take power from the Great Mother.